Now, this classically handsome brute is one of the Ashdown MAG range. MAG standing for magnifier, as in making bigger, which is what it does to your sound. Clearly, this is the 300-115. It's a 300 watt amp with one 15-inch speaker. It has two inputs. They're sockets rather than a switch. It's got an active and a passive, and you just plug in, set your input, and then we have a high boost button here, give you some nice bright zing, and it's got a deep button, we know what that does, and you can have your EQ in or out, so you can have it nice and straight if you want. It's got a beautiful stomp box type compressor as well. Plug that in and turn that in and wind that up, and it has 6 rotary tone controls, which are very simple: bass, middle, and treble. You've got some nice little extra rotary frequencies here. You've got a 340 Hz messing around with your lower mid, and a 1.6 kilohertz screaming top there. It's got the beautiful Ashdown subharmonics, which you can plug in for that lovely octavider sound, or just a bit of bass warmth at the bottom. You've got an effects loop if you want. Frankly, I've never had any use for them. So yeah, you can have your effects going in and out separately, past the amp stage. Plus you've got a DI out. Again, always very handy. That saves you the box. And also an output, which is handy because then you can turn the volume up and down. Right, so plug your bass in into one of the active or passive jacks, set your input level so it's not in the red, and then straight off the bat you've got a lovely clean flat sound. And then we can add some top with just hitting the bright button. And then nice bit of bottom, just hitting the deep. And then we get into the EQ. You turn your EQ in, and immediately I have everything wound up just a little bit. And then suddenly we've got a lot more definition and clarity there. If you wind up your bass, then you get a nice big roomy sort of. And then using the rotaries in the middle, you can get a nice bit of honk. Getting it really quite fierce if you wind up the top. Quite valvey sounding distortion there if you use too much. Obviously you want to be a bit careful. And of course you've got your compressor, which goes from a nice subtle bit of limiting. Well, that's not very subtle, is it? Let's be honest. All the way up to some really fierce. And then, lastly but not leastly, we've got our lovely subharmonics, which can give you that lovely extra octave down below.